I'm going to show you how to wheelie and keep it up in one practice session. And it's going to be as easy as crashing into a couch. My name is David Davidson. I'm the co-founder of Mountain Bike Academy. Hey y'all, I'm the founder of Viagra. My name's Davey Davidson. Listen, I'm down here and I've been keeping it up for months. You would not believe it. I actually came up with Viagra because I was just tired one day. I actually was just ready to sit on the couch. And so I did. Sat back on the couch, just crashed into that couch. And what did I feel? I just started getting it up. And then ever since I started getting it up, I started trying it everywhere else. And so I used Viagra on the field. I use it out on the trails. I've been keeping it up for months now. I didn't have any idea it would do this to me. It's just a big surprise. Warning, not for use by roadies. This has not been tested on trail dogs. Side effects include a third ball and testosterone over 9,000. Talk to your doctor if wheelies last long enough to make your wife mad at you. Listen to me, everyone's going to tell you to push down on the pedals and pull back on the bars to get your wheelie started. Instead, we need to time this. We're going to start with what I call couch crashing. And again, no one's going to talk about this move. It's very simple. If you get the couch crash the right way, it's going to make your wheelies a whole lot easier. Instead of moving our weight back, which is what everyone talks about, what we're going to do is we're going to crash into the couch. And it's exactly like it seems. When you're doing a wheelie, you're actually just keeping your weight on top of the seat. You're sitting your body weight onto the seat and you're spinning and modulating the brake to keep balance. That's all there is to it. So the less movement that there is to get the bike up to the balance point, the easier it is to manage that movement once you're up into the wheelie. So instead of throwing our body back and pushing and pulling and yanking, we just want to simply float it back. The best way to do this is through timing. So start by timing by putting your eyebrows over the bars, and then what we want to do is pop the front down just a little bit. When we pop it down, what's it going to do? It's going to come right back up to us. When the front wheel comes up, we just need to pedal and sit back into the couch. It's that simple. Crash into the couch while you're pedaling. We're going to time the pedaling to go right after we spring the front of the wheel up, and we're going to float that wheel up to the balance point and keep it there using pedaling and braking so that you can keep that wheelie up as long as you want. In other words, we want to start the front wheel lift first and then pedal the bike up into the balance point and keep it there. Let's set up the right way. Helmet, make sure that your brakes work, make sure your bike is tuned, and you want to drop your seat about 2 to 3 inches down from the highest setting. And we want to find either a soft area to practice where it slows the tires down a little bit, or a slight uphill gravel or dirt road, no bumps and roots. Finding and controlling the balance point has a lot to do with how you modulate the rear brake. Modulating is where you change the amount of squeeze in your finger to give either very, very little or a lot of braking power to the back brake. When you apply brake pressure, it slams the front wheel down, or it can, if you do a little bit of modulation, bring the front down ever so slightly. This is how you can keep the front wheel up for a long period of time. So the first thing you want to do is actually put your finger on top of the brake and touch the brake handle and then pull it ever so slightly back. And with the bike stopped while you're standing next to your bike, just pull on the brake until you feel that bite point. And you want to float that rotor just outside the bite point while you're practicing wheelies, so you're right there ready to pull on it. What you don't want to do is have the finger around the grip like this, so you have to reach up and around and back. By that time, you've already crashed. Bad time. Don't want to do that. Tip number 2 is we want to use Superman arms. A lot of riders I see doing wheelies can pull this off where you've got your elbows pulled in close to you, but you want to use Superman arms. Superman flies like this. If you bring your arms too close, it shortens the amount of distance that you can tilt and still be in the balance point. If you have your arms extended, you can actually rotate the entire unit of the bike and the body a few more inches, and you have more forgiveness before you fall out of that balance point. That's why it's important to keep the arms nice and extended. Tip number 3 is start the wheelie with your eyebrows over the bars. Now, this one will help you initiate the move. What I would suggest is try starting in the middle gear of your cogs on the back of the bike. If you don't have gears, then you just got to work around this, but start in the middle gear with your eyebrows over the bars and initiate the front wheel lift by popping down and then pulling back up. And As the bike comes up, you're going to notice with the middle gear, it might be really, really difficult for you to get the front wheel up. If it is, try shifting down 1 or 2 gears and trying it again. Remember, start with the eyebrows over the bars. If you're looping out, make sure and tap that brake to bring things back down. But if you're looping out, try a bigger gear on the cog and it should help as well. Another tip here is to spin. Like, dude, you gotta spin the pedals. It's not a forced, like a piston. Instead, just spin them nice and loose and it'll create a smoother motion to get you back up and to hold that bike up high into your wheelie. Here's another tip for you as well. Look where you want to go. Instead of focusing so much on what your body is doing, one of the key tips that I shared with some of my riders in Mountain Bike Breakthrough is just look at where you want to go and focus on that and trust your body to balance on top of the bike. So what we tend to do is we tend to go, oh, I can feel my elbows, I can feel my back, I'm pedaling and I'm on the ground again and my wheelie's over and I'm frustrated. So if you find yourself doing that, moving your attention from what you're doing and how you're doing it and all the things happening to just look at where you want to go and let your body kind of do its natural thing can be very helpful. Now, obviously, this one is based on if you have good athleticism, good balance, if you have been practicing a little bit on the wheelie, but it's really important. You got to go out there and kind of trust your body to do its thing. And one of the ways you can do that is by looking at a target far away. Start with 10 meters, go to 30 meters, get to 50 meters, and just look at where you want to go and focus on the point rather than on the body and what it's doing. Here's another tip for you when doing a wheelie. It's to pull the scapula back and to keep the spine nice and lengthened. What this will do is it'll let you move your core and your torso independently. And this kind of helps you keep balance. But more importantly, if you hunch over like this too much on the bike, it can force us to be a little bit locked with our range of motion, and it makes it harder to kind of move around the bike and make adjustments. So just limiting your range of motion by hunching over too much and extending the arms and the shoulder blades out can really kind of slow things down a little bit in terms of your process. If I'm here and I need to move the bars forward, I can and bring them back. If I'm all the way here, I'm locked and I'm at the end of my range of motion. All right, finally, here's the banger. And this is where it all comes together. If you want to bring it together and you're still kind of struggling, it's all working, but you're not able to keep that wheelie up, you need to use what I call the lazy man approach. So how would a lazy person who's just cool with it, how would he ride a wheelie? I'd just let the front float up, and if we fall a little bit this way, cool. If we fall a little bit that way, cool. If we need to brake a little bit, give it a tap, have some fun. So what I talked about in the last tip was really just a mobility thing. If we've got our full range of motion and we've got our eyes focused on a target far away, you need to remember to breathe and to relax and to just chill out. So if you actually take this off the bike and you get a 2x4, something really safe, and you walk slowly on it, foot by foot, step by step, you're going to find that you can do it pretty easily if you just relax the body and you tense the core up ever so slightly. So the key here is to activate and engage the core muscles. And by doing so, you can create an activated and mobile body to move around that core. What a lot of people do is they lock everything in the body, spin, 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 grab brake, and it's over. What we want to do instead is relax by starting with having a nice, tense, supported core. And we can move around that core, move the hands, you can move them side to side. You can rock the bike down into turns like this. You can do all kinds of cool stuff if you just relax. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. All right, so leave us a comment below. Go try this weekend. Let us know how it goes. Again, my name is David Davidson. I'm on a mission to help 1 million riders shred with confidence. Follow the channel, subscribe, and go check out the links below for all the related content, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.